Hi everyone, just thought I'd do a quick video seeing it's a rainy day and there's not much else to do, so I'm bored. So myself and my trusty little dog here, my little Cavy, are hanging out as you can see out there. Pretty dreary weather still, so not much good for fishing. Next few days going to be a bit rainy and windy, so we're going to bunker down until then and we'll be out, I reckon, Thursday or Friday. I'll be looking to go tomorrow if it's not too bad, but yeah, myself and Smithy, next few days we'll be back out there. But just a quick bit of a chat about some of our favourite lures and stuff at the moment. Yeah, obviously after this rain the water's pretty dirty, so there's a few things that'll help you catch some fish and squid and things like that. So yeah, going to do a very quick rundown of some of these things. So firstly, we're coming into squid season now, so yeah, squid jigs, some of my favourite squid jigs. This one here is the Daiwa Emeraldus Nude, in that particular colour. The weed shrimp, really good in the broadwater when the water clears up. Works really well when there's not too much flow and not too deep for your arrow squids. You can see there's a few different things going on there with it. Great squid jig. And also another one that's just recently come back is the Ecogear Dart Max. This one, yeah, I reckon it's going to be really good in the broadwater. Just sinks quite fast and very well made squid jig. Really well put together with quality components. There's a couple of colours I really like. This one here, the pinky one, which often can work with the squid. That one I just showed you is pretty good in clear water, sunny weather. This one maybe earlier morning, bit of cloud, but not quite as clear. But the Ecogear Dart Max is going to be a really useful squid jig in the broadwater this autumn and winter, and that's the other colour I was talking about there. That sort of colour there is quite natural, pale, yeah, good on calm days, clear water. It's going to catch a hell of a lot of squid. You can see how well it's made. Not cheap, but top quality components. And what I do with these is just rig them like any other lure we're using with braid. 6 or 10 pound fluorocarbon leader, and you're ready to go. You can also use these little weights which you can clip onto these jigs, and if you've got strong run or strong wind or strong drift, you don't want to go too big, but this number 3 size and these Daiwa little jigs, you can buy them from tackle shops. You just clip them onto these squid jigs, that little bit there, that little hole, clip it on there, and away you go if you need them. The way I use squid jigs is often, as I'll show you in a minute, these Ecogear ZX40s work very well in the broadwater. So when I'm fishing with them, they generally tell me where the squid are. I'll start getting bumped from the squid, and straight away you're in the zone. So I'll throw a squid jig out while we're drifting. Sometimes big long cast and let it sink slowly. Sometimes drop it straight down, and when the squid are there, they'll jump on. So yeah, moving on quickly to our Ecogear ZX40s. That's my all-time #1 lure in the Gold Coast broadwater especially. And that literally catches everything that swims. If you read our reports and tips and all that sort of thing. My new ebook that's out now on our website, goldcoastlures.com, has a full rundown of how to use them. Basically just jigging them while you're drifting, and they catch everything from little winter whiting up to tuskies, stewies, everything. That colour there, 440, deadly, and gets the squid really pumped up too. When there's a bit more drift or a bit more depth, the ZX43, which was released not too long ago, is an absolute weapon. Absolute weapon. And talking about dirty water, just recently, as most of you would know, we had some fairly big floods, so colours like this gold Ecogear ZX VX45, things like that. There's also some ZXs that have similar colours and things, and then really glows stands out on the dirty water. So just after these floods, that'll work very well for a few weeks. Catch you a lot of flathead on those things. Again, a lot of these lures we sell in our online store. And just recently, the Pro Lure brought out some really nice blades. I'm going to be using these a lot over autumn, winter in the Broadwater and up the river. Really nice colors, and that just slightly bigger profile than their first one they had is going to get you that depth and catch a lot of flathead. Good hooks, decoy hooks, really nice, fine action in the water. We love lures with fine vibrations. And also this white bait color when the bait's coming through works really well. The mackerel love them. I lost a lot of lures last year to mackerel. So yeah, that's some of the vibes, or actually no, that's not all the vibes. Just quickly, Smithy's one of Smithy's favorite ever lures is this Samaki Vibalicious. That is, yeah, very, very good lure. Pearl shrimp, I think it's called. It's very similar to your muddy prawn type colors and other sort of lures. Just works in dirty water, clear water, just a great all-rounder. That orange sort of belly, purple sort of back stripes. Catch a lot of big flatties and chewies on that. And then when the water again clears up, this white bait color is an absolute killer in the Samaki Vibalicious 70mm. And they come in the fork tail and the thumper tail. They both work. They're just slightly different action, but yeah, same as the blades. Just work them on the bottom, jigging up and down. Don't stop. There's a couple of colors I used the other day in the Samakis up the river here when it was dirty. It was the motor oil UV and the chartreuse ginger squid UV. Very, very good. They work in most conditions, but especially when it's a bit dirty, they'll catch you a lot of flatties. Rightio, quickly onto the trolling. So we do a lot of trolling on our charters. That's because it works. I've been out up the river when it's been blowing gale force wind, which is actually the best time for trolling because it stirs up the water and the fish get stirred up. Couple of all-time favorites. These guys here, the Pontoon 21 Crackjack 48 SPDR, absolute gun lure. If you can't catch a fish on these, there's just no fish around at all that day. These will save the day a lot of the time. That's the Spanish red color, absolute gun lure in the dirty water. And you can see this one here that's been used a bit, smashed to pieces. If you don't lose them on snags, you lose count of how many fish you catch on these things. And again, we have them in our shop and we use them every day on our charters. Troll them as slowly as possible, around 2 meters deep, and just constantly make sure they're swimming well. Beautiful lures. And this one here, the bloody tiger prawn, sometimes it's hard to get, but I think Smithy will tell you that's his all-time favorite lure. It is a weapon, bloody tiger prawn. Clear water, dirty water, in between. Slays everything that swims. And then lastly, in the hard bodies, one we've been using a fair bit lately is the Hurricane Slam, and that's the Demon Suji color. This is a killer lure, and it works so well alongside the Pontoon 21s because it dives deeper. It's a small lure, but this thing will get to over 4 meters deep on light line, and yeah, no, we love them. They're great lures. Pontoon 21 out one side, one of those out the other side. Can't go too far wrong. 30 plus flathead a day some days on our charters. Then next we have a really nice soft plastic. These Western shad tees. I've been only using them quite recently, in this particular one in the dirty harbour colour. These guys are 4 inches long. Quite amazing action when you rig them on a jig head. They actually have a vibration that's not much less than the vibe lures, and I think that big paddle tail and thin profile gets that happening, and then that olive back, orange belly, that classic lure look that we love so much in our fishing. Oh, these are great lures. Rig them on a 1/4 ounce, 6 ounce jig head, 2.0 or whatever, throw them out, pop them along, can't go wrong. Smithy's UV sack scent on all these lures. You don't have to use scent, but this stuff works well. I think at worst it doesn't do any harm, and at best I think if the fish hit the lures and miss them, they'll come back for another go. So you can put them on any of these lures. Again, available in our shop and on Facebook and on our charters. Rightio, nearly done, but just wanted to give a mention to this braid we've started using. There's a few braids we love, things like Yamaha and Gosen that we get from Sportys at Bundle. But this Tasline that's made, it's actually going to be made in Australia. I think it's made in New Zealand at the moment. God, this stuff's good. It's incredibly strong. 12-pound breaking strain, but this says actual average break 20 pounds, and that's PE 0.6. So it's super smooth, super thin, quite visible to see in the air, that white, but it actually seems to disappear under the water. So highly recommend it. That's the Tasline. Beautiful stuff. Comes in from light right up to heavy stuff. It is top quality for jigging. And lastly, spotters. Now I just wanted to give a quick mention to these spotters because we love them. They're we think the best fishing sunnies in Australia. Brad's had a pair of exactly these here that he's had for 5 years. That's quite amazing. You think how much fishing he does on charters and how much of a workout they get. 5 years and they're still going well. And this one's the Thunder Halide and the Matte Black. Quick tip from Smithy is don't wipe your sunnies with cloths on the boats. If you're near sand and salt water, you're going to scratch even glass lenses. So what he does is takes a bottle of water, and if they get smeared or dirt on them, just pour some water over them, both sides of the lens. They dry really quickly, and within seconds of putting them back on, you can see really well. So yeah, really good tip. And lastly, I've been loving this rod lately for vibing, for soft vibes and blades, and this is the Atomic Arrows estuary 7-foot lure, 5 to 15 grams, line 6 to 12 pounds. If you want a really nicely balanced rod for vibes at a really good price, these guys, you just can't beat them for value. They're as good as they get. Grab some of these, get them from good stores like Sportys, Angler's Warehouse. And these little Sedona reels, mid-range, they're not expensive, they're around the $100 mark. Really nice reels and really nicely balanced for this sort of fishing. Light, strong, smooth. So I've spooled that with that beautiful Tasline and just 10-pound leader. And there's your Ecogear blade. So yeah, that's a bit of a wrap up of what we'll be using over the next few months, over autumn, winter, when the weather calms down, the water clears, and lots of tuskies, squid, flounder, flathead, brim, Taiwan, snapper, all sorts of things. Well, and Smithy will be into the big flathead at the Tweed, lots of mulloway, epic amounts of massive brim. It's going to be incredible. Hey Billy. Well, that's it for now. Chat to you guys soon.